Aloha, everybody. It's been a long time, I know. However, I have something really important to discuss. With the new year coming, has come around, a lot of people have been coming in and been discussing their resolutions. And I wanted to talk about that and share about that. Uh, there is a great deal of individuals that discuss their viewpoint about resolutions and about the importance of change and wanting to create new goals and moving forward and doing all these great things, which I think is really great. I think it's really good that when the new year comes around, people want to resolve to making these really great changes in their life and, moving forward and wanting to put the past in the past and creating a new. And I think it's a really great thing, right? Everybody, when the end of the year comes, it's their viewpoint that putting it, closing one chapter and starting a new, which is really great. However, let's discuss resolution. So every year when people come in, we have this discussion, and I always ask them, okay, how was your holidays? Blah blah blah, and they always say, well, I have these resolutions I want to do. Whether it's I want to stop doing my addictive behavior, whether it's sexual addiction or drugs, alcohol, gambling, whatever, or I want to stop my eating disorder stuff or whatever, and I want to do this new thing. I want to start changing, and do this deal. And they say, okay, sounds good, right? So how are you going to accomplish that? Because on the 31st, you were doing all this stuff over here, and now it's the first, and you're like, I'm done. Like, I'm on it. And I usually get this real silence in the room, and it's just like, then I always say, did you think about how you gonna do that? And usually people say, well, I, I'm just gonna stop, or I'm just gonna work out, or I'm whatever. That's usually the case, and there's usually a stutter that goes along with that. And I always tell them, well, you have to understand, we are human beings in general are creatures of habit. We like things a certain way all the time. And when we get really stressed out and stuff, guess what usually happens? We move back into doing old behaviors. And so that's what we do. We do consistent behavior pattern stuff. And that is something that has been the case for over time, and so you have to look at trying to create lasting, consistent change. And that's where relapse comes in and part of that whole deal. And so I always have them look at, well, do you know what the meaning of resolution is? And, people give this look like, well, it's change. And I say, yeah. So we then look up what resolution means. So here's what the definition of resolution means: the act of finding an answer or solution to a conflict problem, the act of answering, the act of determining, the act of analyzing a complex notion into simpler ones, the act or process of resolving. So it really focuses on like conflicts or problems. And my viewpoint is this with resolutions. I always tell people the only constant in life is change. And that includes us, right? We're always growing, changing, evolving. So instead of looking at resolutions, why don't you look at evolution? We are always changing, moving, growing every single day. So why don't you look at evolving and an evolution process instead? That seems to be more consistent. It seems to be more positive, and it's more about looking for a solution and a constant, consistent flow, something that's more lasting. So here's the definition of evolution and evolving: the process of working out or developing a process of change in a certain direction, such as unfolding. Evolve: to change or develop slowly, often into a better, more complex, or more advanced state, to develop by a process of evolution. Now, doesn't that sound better? Like more positive, more of a foundation, something that would be more consistent. So I am putting it out there for everybody that from now on, when the new year comes around, instead of everybody looking at a resolution every year, look at it more as an evolution. What would you like to evolve into? What are you trying to obtain? What are you trying to evolve into as a person? Look more towards that. Because if you can do that, it's something that you can slowly work and develop towards, which then you have more of a better chance for a better, more consistent foundation for change. Much better, right? It's more of a solution, less of a problem kind of action going on. So with that being said, I hope everybody had a really great holiday season, a really great new year, and I hope everybody has a really prosperous, blessed upcoming new year, right, that we're in now. That you can all evolve into a much more healthier, better you for this new year. All right, aloha everybody. Have a great rest of your week.